Well, it's me again, and this is my podcast and my world, where I take you along on an adventure where we get to explore everything and anything that goes on in my mind. Oh boy, is it random, is it crazy, it's nuts, it's all over the place. So grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's have a good time. Good morning, my friends. Hello, once again. I'm your host, Mr. Graham, and this is my world. Now, if it sounds in the background here a little bit different, well, it's because it is a little different. I actually filmed this episode yesterday. Well, today it's me, or today right now it's for me, but you're not going to hear this until tomorrow for me, but it's yesterday for you. Okay, anyways, enough of the confusing stuff. I didn't even have to tell you that. Well, first of all, I just want to say good morning, welcome, my friends, and this is definitely my head, my mind, my world, ha 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 ha. And so today I want to get straight to the point. I tried yesterday to get to the point, and I just jumped all over the place and couldn't do it. So I'm sure you all have been wondering, if you heard yesterday's episode, what is my favorite film of all time? My number one most favorite film. Well, before I tell you the title of my film, I'm going to tell you the formats I own it in. I own it in Betamax. And just one of my favorite Betamax tapes ever. I own it in Betamax. I own it in 3 different versions on VHS. I have a director's cut. I have a special anniversary, I think it's like a 10-year anniversary or something like that. And it's got a whole bunch of fan fiction, because it's kind of a cult fan following kind of thing. And then I have the original version on VHS. Then on DVD, I have it. I also have it on Blu-ray. I have it in digital format through Vudu. And I also have it in my pride and joy. I have it in Steelbook. So if it was in Steelbook, that might give away what it is to all of those video buffs out there, because there's not been a whole lot of videos released in Steelbook. And it just so happens that my most favorite of all time movie happens to be in Steelbook. So it's a fairly popular movie. I'm sure almost everybody's seen it. Maybe not everybody, but almost everybody. So in it is one of my absolute favorite, all-time favorite actors, John Goodman. John Goodman is, in my personal opinion, one of the best male actors that exist today. He is very dynamic in his acting abilities. John Goodman is able to be a comedic actor. He's able to do serious roles. He's able to play a wide range of characters, even though they're very narrow. What I mean by that is John Goodman doesn't have the ability to, he can a little bit, but not really, change things like his voice or his mannerisms. A lot of his mannerisms are all the same. A lot of his different characters that he plays, they all have that same type of feeling behind them, which is who he really is as a person. But he's also able to play all kinds of different roles, from supporting actor in the movie Coyote Ugly. He plays a fantastic father for the lead, and then as the main character, the husband for Roseanne Barr in the TV show Roseanne, Dan Connor. He is great at the comedic side, which, by the way, I've heard a rumor that Roseanne is doing a reboot. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to do that, and Dan Connor is supposed to be in it, John Goodman. So I'm wondering how they do that, because season 9 of Roseanne, they killed him off. The very last episode, he was dead. So I'm very kind of curious to see how that all plays out. If they just erase the last episode and act like it never happened, which is very hard to do because it's so vivid in your mind, of her coming back upstairs and the way they just connected it, and sitting on the couch in the old house, and they didn't really win the lottery, and so it would be a real shame to the realness of it, to have it have that last episode not exist, because it really kind of tied the whole series together. But we're not talking about Roseanne the TV show, because that's not my favorite movie. It's a TV show. It's my favorite TV show, but it's not my favorite. Oh, I gave that one away too. Darn it! But it's not my favorite movie. So the other actor that's in it, also very dynamic, very, very good at acting. Another, I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but he's on the top 10 of my favorite actors, male actors of all time. And that is Jeff Bridges. I think you probably just guessed my favorite movie. John Goodman and Jeff Bridges, they did one movie together that came in a steelbook, and there's only one movie that they've done together that has been developed into a steelbook. Actually, I believe that's the only movie they've ever been into together, but I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong. They could have done something else, but Jeff Bridges is amazing. I'm sorry, he is a fantastic actor, and I think his best role yet is playing the dude in The Big Lebowski. The dude is, for me, he is the ideal me. When I see Jeff Lebowski play that character, that is the way I portray my soul. Unfortunately, I have to be a hard worker. I have to provide for my family, and I can't allow myself to be that relaxed. But that is who I really truly am inside, is the dude. I am a very laid back person normally, or at least that's kind of ideally who I'd like to be. Sometimes I get a little bit stressed out from life and children and all that kind of stuff, but normally when my kids aren't around, or if they are around but they're being really good, I'm a very laid back person, very calm and collected, and very whatever, I try to let stuff roll off my back. Some stuff gets to me, but I try desperately to just kind of let it flow, let it go. But The Big Lebowski is such an iconic film for me. It's so well directed, and it's so well produced, it's so well written, it's so well laid out. A lot of people that watch it, most females in my life that have seen it, don't really care for it. They don't understand the point of it. It just is one of those films where you really have to be into it and see past what's going on. Okay, so The Big Lebowski, there's really about 3 different storylines going on all at once. And the first time you watch it, it can be quite confusing. Because there's so much going on, so much character development, so much underlining personality and that kind of stuff, and the storyline itself, when it comes to, because there's so many different parts of the storyline, can be kind of confusing, especially about the toe and who the Germans are, or the Russians are, or all this stuff. It can be kind of confusing at first, but if you watch it, it's kind of like Sixth Sense. If you watch Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis, the first time you watch it, if you don't watch the very end of it, you don't get it. But the very end of the film puts the whole film into perspective. You notice, and a lot of people pick up the fact that that Bruce Willis is dead. At the very beginning, he's shot and he's dead, and this is a dream world. I didn't get that at first. When I first watched it, I really wasn't paying too much attention to the film the first time I watched that movie, and I didn't catch on to that until the very end. And then I had to go back and watch it again, and then I noticed all the red stuff, and I noticed all these different things in the film. Well, for me, and for a lot of people, The Big Lebowski is the same way, except a lot of stuff doesn't really line up the first time you watch it, and then the second time you watch it, or third or fifth or eighth, it all starts to kind of make sense and flow a little smoother. So for me personally, I love that film. I love every single aspect of that movie. I think it is the most perfectly illustrated film of all time. The way it is put together, the music choices, the dream sequences, the way the characters are developed, and the way they interact with each other, and all around, I think it is the best film of all time. It is my all-time favorite movie. Now, it's okay for us to disagree. That's what makes this so great. Is somebody will say, well, no, My Fair Lady was my favorite, or whatever. And it's like, well, okay, I can see how Gone with the Wind could be someone's favorite film. But, there's a lot of movies out there. A lot of titles, a lot of movies, a lot of stuff out there. And I can see how a lot of them can be favorites. It really makes a lot of sense. And how there's and there might be, and don't get me wrong, there might be other films out there that are absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm not saying there's not. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, this is the best film, hands down, the best. And my favorite. I absolutely love every second of this movie. So, someday I would like to have it on a couple of other formats. Back when this film was first released, the theaters had more of a movie projector style film, like a reel-to-reel style. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I'd like to own an actual movie theater film, like of it. I would like to own one of the big compact discs, not compact discs. One of the big discs. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank, but I'd like to own a few other formats of it. I love this film. That's all I can say. I just love it. So, I'm gonna give you my top 5 films, I think, tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll talk about all top 5 films because, well, I've got a lot more than 5, but my all-time favorite top 5 films will be tomorrow. So in the comments section down below, I would like you to leave a comment rating your top 5 favorite films. So if you'd like to participate, then please, yes, down below, list your top 5 favorite movies of all time. And there you be. All right, y'all. I want y'all to have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. And, just be yourself. Be yourself. Be you. And enjoy every moment of your day, because it will be the last today you get. Until next time, bye for now.